Morning, it's Monday. We're off to COPART for another collection, but I think the Range Rover needs a clean first, don't you? Let's get on with it. Well, it's clean, the trailer's connected, I've done the tyre pressures, I've done the fluids, so let's get cracking and go and collect this new purchase. Right, so what have we come back with? A 2002 facelift Discovery TD5. A non-runner and a Cat S with chassis damage. So let me show you what the damage is. The battery was completely flat, so I've just put the jump leads on it while I've unstrapped it. You never know. At least we can turn it over and hear whatever noise or what it doesn't do. So let's see if it will start. So I put some wind in this tyre because it was flat and it's not ideal. This is cracked, this alloy. I can hear it coming out, not at a vast rate, but it's obviously come up. It's all bent anyway, so that's going to have to be changed. But we do have one on the back with an okay tyre on. It doesn't feel like it's got any air in it though, so it might be punctured or it might just be low. So at least we've got one for it to roll around on anyway, or at least to change tyres over. It's down as a Cat S with chassis damage and a non-runner. As you can see, it looks like something has gone underneath into the back of it and pushed the tow bar and bent all the tow bar. Now, I can't see any chassis damage, it's just bent all the brackets. Alright, it's pulled that a bit, but I wouldn't say that's chassis damage. It's a Cat S, but whether we can get that changed when we just put another tow, well, we probably can't put another tow bar on, but you know what I mean. Once we straighten all that out, we might be able to put another tow bar on. We'll just have to see, I suppose. Right, let's see if it is actually a runner. Okay, I'm confused. It starts. Was it a non-runner because the battery was flat? We have a blank DGR valve. The fan shroud's missing. Everything seems to be alright. How bizarre. Right, let's get out the trailer and see if it drives. Maybe it's a non-driver as opposed to a non-runner. Well then, I've just been for a little drive up the road. Drives absolutely fine, it absolutely flies. So it's either been remapped or I've been wallowing too long in a P38 and a Jag. But it seems to go bloody well. So, things I've found that are wrong with it. It's scratched up a bit. It's, you know, the panels are a bit rippled. I mean, you've got a scratch there. It's got bush rash along it. I think that's just dirt, yeah. Mirror, obviously. There's a scratch down the side. A few various scratches and dings and dents. The inside is disgusting. Luckily it's got seat covers on, so hopefully when they come off it might be alright. I'll take it down to my friends and get it cleaned, obviously. We have, I think I've said already before, the damage, which is the tow bar. I'm guessing that's why it was written off. We've got a crack light there, but not really worried about that. This quarter is rippled. That wheel, yeah, this wheel's cracked, isn't it? That I've showed already. A few scratches. It's got a terra firma lift kit. So I think it's probably raised 2 inches, so it's not on bags anymore. But it's got terra firma shocks on it. Don't see that in there. Well, the other side's definitely terra firma. I don't know if that one is, I can't see, I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, look, it's just dirty under there. Get a jet wash on that, it'll be alright. The headlights are a bit crazed. Oh, bit of paint missing on the bumper there. Fog light's a little funny. I think it might have been, I think it's been a work car. It might have done a bit of green lane in, the corners are scuffed. But at the minute, I'm chuffed a bit to it for what I paid for it. Especially as it was a non-runner. Obviously no one else wanted to take the gamble, hence why I got it quite cheap. So yeah, what we need to do, change that mirror, swap that wheel over, cut that tow bar off, get the seat covers off, take it down and get it cleaned, and then we'll see what we're left with. But for today, I'm just going to put it away and go home. You can see now I've parked it here. how cracked that wheel is. Look, the rim's actually coming out. I've also just cleared a bag full of rubbish out of it. It's obviously going to need to go off and be valeted because it is revolting. But let's get it inside, get that wheel changed, get the mirror changed and cut this tow bar off because that needs to get out the way. Well, the tow bar's removed. I had to cut one side there, and then once that was cut out the way I could get to all the bolts, and it actually all undone. I can't believe it. So the chassis seems good under there. It has bent the tank guard a bit, but I've got a galvanised one there and a non-painted one there. Can't remember which one's which, but one of them is for this. So yeah, I'll get round to that. Next is the mirror. I just need to unbolt the mirror and put another one on, as obviously that one is knackered. Right, let's do that. Right, well, it's driven home. We found one problem, and probably the reason why it was a non-runner. The immobiliser is hard to turn off. You've got to hold the key right by the sensor. So I'm guessing it's a faulty sensor, as the key batteries are light, and they do suffer from water ingress from the sunroof. So I think I need to have the lining out and get to that, and either take it apart and clean it up and put it back, or replace it, whatever. But anyway, today we are going for a valet. So you can see around it now, it's pretty rank. The boot area, everything is pretty disgusting. So let's go and get it clean and see how it comes up. It's getting there. It's going to be an expensive one though. He looked at it and went, ooh. So we'll see. He got a bit excited and it's covered in white stuff. Oh no, that's snow foam. Sorry, it's now being snow foamed. So it's Thursday evening, and I am at Friston. Cars on the green. Lots of lovely cars here. Lagondas, Jags, MGs, everything vintage. I've come up in a Rolls Royce. My friend wanted to bring his roller, but he's not in a position to drive at the moment, so I've driven him up here in a Rolls Royce, so just call me chauffeur. So yeah, so this is Thursday. So the Discovery, it broke down today, driving along, and it just went stopped. What I hadn't realised, when I took the tow bar off, it had actually folded up and bent into the tank, so it's pushed the tank in a little bit, so therefore the sender can't actually go to empty anymore. So empty is quarter of a tank, and obviously I had quarter of a tank in there, and I thought I had enough fuel. Why didn't it run out? So I walked back home, because luckily I was only a mile away, got the trailer and recovered it to the petrol station, put some diesel in it, bled the fuel system, fired straight up. So I need to take the level sender out from the boot and push the tank back down, and then hopefully the level sender will work. But anyway, I'm going to have a wander around and look at some lovely cars. Right, we're home after yesterday. We're back in the workshop. We're off the trailer. So a few jobs to do today. I want to get the rear bumper off and see if I can organise another tow bar. I need to get the level sender out the tank and push the tank down. Get that tank guard off first, and then push the tank down back into its original shape. It should go because it's plastic. And then I also need to try and get in the receiver in the headlining because the fob is really hard to pick it up. So they do get water ingress, so let's hope that's all it is and I can just swap it for another one I have. Right, the tank guard is off after having to cut one of the bolts off. Oh, what a nightmare. So I've just got to bend that out. I could just fit the other one, but that means I've got to paint it all because it's in its raw form. And this one ain't too bad, I can just beat that one back out a bit. So I'm going to do that now. Right, well, that escalated quickly. I couldn't bend that tank back out, so out it came. Got another one on the shelf. You can see how down that one's sitting compared to that one. So I'm going to fit a replacement in. Also, I couldn't bend that one back out either, so I've painted the other one ready to go back on. And also, I'm really happy with under here. Normally, these are rotten as a pear behind the tank, and this one is really solid. I am so surprised and so happy to see this. So at least I can sell it now saying it is a good one. I don't know if I can... See, it's all solid metal under there. So yes, very happy. Right, now to get the other tank in. And before the tank goes in, I've given the chassis a clean up and put some wax oil stuff on it. I obviously haven't done that bracket because really this step probably needs to come off. But it's just a bit of a coat behind where the tank goes just to save the chassis. And what I'll probably do is once the tank's all back in and stable, I will do the outside of the chassis rails. But I obviously want to just get the insides done. Just a bit of a coat on it. Just helps it, protects it. And so I can get the tank back in. Right, tank's back in. Everything's connected up. Obviously the new tank guard is on. Probably needs another coat of paint on the outside. I concentrated most of the paint on the inside obviously because I couldn't get to it. So yeah, we are in. So let's see if it registers empty on the gauge now. And there we go. Before I put fuel in, the gauge is reading empty because there's none in the fuel tank. So we know now that it's working. And there we go. Now we've put fuel in, it's just above quarter. So let's hope now, as it showed empty a minute ago, that is correct. Just bleeding it up now and we'll see if it will start. And that's the old one. Look, you can really see it's properly all creased and bent up. There was no pulling that out. It might have heated up and done it, but do I really want to heat it up with fuel in it? Probably not. For the time it's taken to change the tank, a couple of hours, it was worth doing. So this one can now go in the bin. Right, will she fire? Hang on. I've got to piss about the immobiliser still. I've spoke to the key man. Hopefully he can come and sort it out for me in the next few days. He's just going to let me know. Right, will she start? Ah, there we go. Oh. Right, so looking at that video there as it started up, I think we have the notorious TD5 warped turbo manifold. It obviously probably gets warm and then seals up again, but looks like we might have to change that or advertise it as is, but at least now the fuel system's all sorted. So let's get this back out the workshop for now. Right, well, it's Friday afternoon. The disco fuel system's done. That's all running again, but as you saw, it looks like we have the warped manifold that is TD5. Well, TD5's downfall as such. I'll worry about it next week. I'll have a look. So this week's pretty much done. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe and share. I'm a bit filthy where I've been under the truck. I'll catch you next week in the next one. All have a wet and wonderful weekend. See you later, guys. Cheers.